Get that off of there. All right, back to this guy right here that we were doing before. We got to put his glasses on him right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to come out just a little bit below the brim right here, and I'm going to bring a line that just comes out straight, and I'm going to do that on the other side a little bit. A little short line like that. Then I'm going to angle it all the way down to the top of the beak. Not the top of the cheek, the top of the beak. Just like that. And just like that. So it's like two little triangle looking things right there, okay? Make sure that you go to the top of the beak, not the top of the cheek right here. Two different places. I'm going to bring a line right across here, and then another little skinny line like that. Then I'm going to put some space between it, and put two more lines right there, and then a third line right there. So it's two and then three. If you don't see what I'm doing, I'll hold it up close. I'm going to come over here and do the same thing, except I'm going to start with two lines. Like that. And then I'll put my three lines over here for the little space. And my three lines, making sure I got space back here. Then in between these lines, I'm going to erase I don't want the stuff in between it. Jacqueline, you shut that door, please. All right, now that I've got my lines on here, we're going to do some black coloring. So with our pencil. So I'm going to come right down here. I'm going to do this little triangle part first. Color this in black right here, down to where I drew that line. What? Okay, just go straight out. Straight out like this, and then you go from here up. And you'll come from here up, okay? So I did that on one side. On this side, it's going to be smaller because I've got the reflection reversed on this side. It's just going to be a little triangle on this side. Like that. Yep. And I'll prop that door open so you can get back in. Okay, one side's going to be bigger, the other side's going to be smaller. Then I'm going to skip over the little one and the big one and go to this one right here. I'm going to color this one in black. And then the one next to the nose I will color in black as well. What those little white lines represent is just kind of like a reflection in his dark glasses. I've got that on that side. I'll come over here. I'm going to skip, let's see, what do I want to skip? I want to skip these two. I've got a wide one. Make sure I don't do this wrong. Okay, I want dark right against the glasses right here. Skip a couple. I'm going to go dark right here. And I'm going to go dark right there. All right, now he's got his dark glasses all shiny looking. This line right here, I'm just going to make a little bit thicker. I don't want it to be pencil thin. The next place that we're going to go black is the belt, or the band, hat band that goes around the hat. So inside here will be black. Do not make this buckle black though, okay? So I go around the outside and then just color in the inside. You okay? So I'll give you a minute to get that all colored in dark and black. Does anybody need more time to color in the black? Raise your hand if you do, so I don't get too far ahead of you. Okay. So the next area I want to go is underneath the hat. This is the underside of the hat. Don't go in this little part right here. But in this underside of the hat, I just want to make this like a medium gray. So I'm going to try to keep my lines close together. I will probably use a Kleenex to smooth it out, or a paper towel here in just a second. And the reason is I want it to be a different texture than the rest of the hat. Just make sure you keep your lines close together while you're doing this, so it doesn't end up looking like scribble all over the place. So I got that side done, then I'll come over here and do the same thing on this side. All right, then either get a paper towel or a Kleenex. Make sure you fold it so you got a little tight corner so you can get into the small areas like that. And that way I can get right in here between the hat and the glasses. And I'm just going to come along, smooth it out. There are times where this is the best method to use, and there's other times where you shouldn't use it. If you're trying to shade something in and you want it to gradually go from light to dark, this is not the best method because it kind of flattens everything out and makes everything kind of the same color. But it does a great job of making a smooth, even color on something. And it does change the texture, and in this case I wanted to change the texture. It really doesn't matter whether you use a Kleenex or a paper towel, the effect's the same either way. So if you look at that, one side looks completely different than the other side now because of rubbing it like that. So once you got one side done, come over and I'll do the other side real quick. I accidentally got some on the bill of the hat, the brim. Take my eraser and clean it up. Not a big deal. I'll give you just a second to finish that, and then we'll do this top part of the hat right here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do the top part, and that'll give you some time to catch up. I'm just going to start at the very edge, pressing a little bit hard, not too hard. And I'm going to just keep coloring as I work towards the middle, trying to keep my lines really close together. And when I get almost to the buckle, I'm going to stop. I'm going to come over here to this side. I'm going to do the same thing. I'll just kind of make a light line right where that buckle is so I know not to go past it. And then inside this white part, I'm going to go really, 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 really light with my pencil. Super, super light. Well, that'd be a light gray. So I want it to look like it's dark gray and light gray by each other. And this part of the rim that comes, or brim that comes down here, I'm going to make this all really light gray, like super light, almost white. And that's kind of hard to do if you haven't practiced with your pencil much. So just do your best. One thing you can do is if it's light, but it's not really light, or you got a lot of scribbly looking stuff, you can take your Kleenex and smooth some of that over a little bit. But what you don't want to do is take your Kleenex when it's really dark like this and go over the light area, because it's going to make it really dark. So you'd want to refold it like this, so you have a clean little point right here. With that clean point, then you can come down here and soften this up, and it won't make it darker. If anything, it'll lighten it up a little bit. Then come in the center part, soften it up a little bit. After you've done that light part, then you can move into the dark part. And what this will do is right there where it transitions from dark to light, it'll make it a smoother transition. It'll be a little more blurry instead of a hard line right there, meaning right along here. Instead of a hard line, it'll be a soft line because you softened it up with the Kleenex, and it looks more like the velvet on a hat. So you're actually creating a texture when you do that. So if you haven't softened that up and you didn't get a paper towel, get it and do it. It's part of the drawing techniques I'm trying to teach you on this. And I looked at a lot of your drawings before you came to class, and overall, you're doing a really good job on these. Very happy. And one little adjustment down here where this line comes across, I'm going to erase that out of there. I want that there. I'm going to put a little chin right here, a little bit above it, like this, and maybe a little bit of a double chin, just like that. Then I can come down here and down here. Just a couple of lines, and that kind of separates it from the neck a little bit. So it's like a couple little wrinkles right here, and then a couple little, like a little double chin right there. I don't want a line going clear across. Doesn't look right. Now I'm not going to darken in my lines on this till after it's colored. I'm not going to color this one because the colors that we used here on the Goofy turkey are the same colors you'd use here. But we're not going to color that right now. We'll do that in a minute because we're going to flip it over and draw another turkey on the back here in a second. How many need time to get it to this point of completion? Okay, so I'll just wait a minute or two, and then we'll flip it over and do the other one. So we're going to draw the other one on the back, and he'll be quite different from these two. The only thing that'll stay the same, colors will basically stay the same. Expressions will change quite a bit. All right, I'm going to turn it over because I assume most of you kind of know what you do or don't need to do on that by this time. So we'll flip it over. And I don't care if you do it on this side or this side. We're only going to do one on the back. Okay, we're going to start with a light upside down U like we did before. However, this one is going to be completely different after that. Okay, so we're going to keep it really light because most of it's going to go away. In fact, most all of it's going to go away. So don't draw this very dark. I'm going to do it more to the left, closer to this edge, than rather than right in the middle right here. So, but I do need some space right here, so I'm going to leave a little space. I'm going to put that light yellow, light U shape. Light upside down U right there, and I'm leaving some room above it too. And it's fairly big. You can see by my pencil that it goes from the tip of the eraser to where the number 2 is on there. Bring that down so you can see it a little easier. So it's not tiny. This is where things are going to change quite a bit. Has everybody got that upside down U? No hands? All right. So I'm going to come out here. I'm going to bring this a little ways out and bring it in. And I'm just going to go a little bit. I'm not going to go any further than that. It's like a letter C. And on this side, I'm going to go further in. See how much further in that one is? I'm going to come out and around. I always struggle to do that because it goes against the grain. That's why I got to turn the paper. Okay, so one side is short and one side is long. Hopefully everybody sees that on there. And then right between that opening there, I'm just going to put a curved line that kind of comes from the top of the head, comes right between it like that. And this signifies where the middle of the face is. It's kind of turned away from us, so you're going to see like this whole eye and then only part of this eye because it's like turning that way, okay? That's why this is the center and not right here. And that's why it's slightly curved because it's looking that way. Now I'm going to put the neck on it. I'm going to come right off of here, and this time I'm going to do it at an angle. Over here, I'm going to put it over here at a little bit of an angle. And I'm going to put just a little wrinkle right here, just by putting like 3 little lines. I'll hold that up close so you can see what I did. Just a little wrinkle on that side. We'll finish off the bottom of this later. We're going to come up here and put the eyes and the beak on it first. Okay, the beak is going to go right in here. Does anybody need more time before I do the beak? All right, beak's going to go right in here. I'm going to turn it this way just so it's easier for me to curve. So I'm putting a little bump right there, and then I'm going to curve it down. And I'm going to bring it back just like that. Hopefully you recognize that as a beak. Here's where things are going to change a little bit. That little wattle thing, I'm going to bring right over the top of the beak. Remember, it's just kind of a teardrop shape. Drawing it light so I can get the shape on there. And I'm going to have it swinging forward slightly because he just looked that way and therefore it's swinging like that. So it's swinging forward. Draw the outline a little darker so it's easier to see. It's a big, long, skinny teardrop. Just like that. And then I'll erase that little line of the neck in there because I don't need that in there. Okay, Crimson, make sure you're paying attention. Okay, the bottom beak I'm going to have come up and stop when it gets to that little thing, that little wattle thing. Then I'm going to follow this line where the mouth is, pretend that it goes through here, and then curve it up at the end. And on this side, I'm actually going to curve it down a little bit, kind of bringing it through. He's kind of got just a little bit of a smirk kind of thing. Hopefully we didn't lose anybody on that beak because it is a little different. I'm going to erase that line inside the beak. I don't want that in there anymore. That was just to show me where to put it. I do need this still because I'm going to put the eyes on it. This guy's going to be a little mad, not a lot mad, but a little mad. So I'll bring it down close so when we do this eye expression you can see it easily. So a common shape that we've done a lot is the letter S. So we're going to go ahead and do the letter S on this one. So we're going to come in here, we're going to curve it, come right to the center line there, come back up, and curve back down. So there is your letter S. Okay? And this part is touching that line right there, and then I'm going to go on the other side and do one going just the opposite way. A little tiny space, bring it up, and then it starts to curve, but that one goes just beyond the edge of the head. And stops, because this is turned away from us, so it's not going to be as long or as big. So hopefully everybody can do a letter S and then like a little J hook on this side. Don't get this too skinny or it'll look kind of weird. Okay. Now above this, I'm going to come above this shape here and do a parallel line that comes right above it and then stops, and then over here I'm actually going to connect this and bring this line down and stop right there. So it looks like that. Even a little space between. Right between these, I'm going to put one little line comes off this way and one little line comes off this way, and maybe just one more right here like a little V shape, okay? That's a little bit not happy. Of course, it's November. Good chance he might wind up on the Thanksgiving table. There's a reason he's got a little bit of a tooth. Okay, right here we have a line going through the brow. Make that go away. So I'll erase that little spot out. Mine's not going away good enough. I'm going to have to erase harder. Now it's gone. Okay, shh. Right here where this comes down, I want to curve this more. Curve that more like an eye. And then I'm going to come over here and curve this. That's the other eye right there. So if there's any extra stuff, just erase it out. That's where the two eyes go. The eye openings, actually. There's a little too much fidgeting and fussing going on. Just be quiet so it doesn't pick up on the video. We have a lot of people gone today, so there are people that are going to need this video. Okay, right here, half a circle. Right here, half a circle. And then I'm going to color these black and leave a little shine kind of right towards the top. On this side, I'm not going to leave any shine at all. A part of it's up underneath his brow right here. In fact, I'm going to take the shine off the left one too. I want these both dark. Like I say, he's kind of upset. So. Okay, things are going to change quite a bit next, so make sure you're paying attention. How many need more time to get this part finished up? Because I am going to change things here in a second. So, yep, I'll give you a little bit of time here. The rest of you that are done, keep quiet. Giggling and talking, it picks it all up on the video, and it's really annoying when you're trying to watch it. Okay, from this brow to this brow, I'm going to put a curved line, just like that. Just putting a curved line goes right, that's not the top of his head, by the way. I've got a curved line here. I'm going to put a parallel curved line right here, but it's going to be longer. And it kind of goes towards the back of the head, okay? This side I'm going to just curve it on down, and it'll stop right there at the brow, just like that. Pay attention to this part. This line comes through and it's going to stick out right here, just a little further. And then I'm going to bring this around like that and leave that little tag end right there, because this is the back of the head right here, and I want that little tag sticking out right there above it. Now all this stuff inside of that thing we just drew on the center line, so erase all that out. Almost looks like a little exercise band on his head, but that's not what it is. This is where this is going to get a little bit more fun. Does everybody have that on there all connected up? Anybody not have that on there all connected up? All right, I'm going to come right here, and I'm going to bring a little line that curves this way, and then I'll make a shorter one and curves that way, just like that. So it's just a J hook, J hook, J hook. And off the top of this one, I'm going to come up, get about to the middle, and then I'm going to make kind of a triangle shape. I'm going to go over and come down this other side, bring it down and curve it out right there. So it has kind of a peak at the top, middle, and then curves out. From here, I'm going to come right down off of here and bring another wrinkle here and another wrinkle there. And then I'm going to take this and bring it right here and bring it kind of almost to a point, and then just stop it right there like that. And of course, off of this, I'll put a little round ball because it's like a little Santa hat that he's wearing. Probably could have made that ball bigger, but oh, what the heck. If yours is bigger, great. Just don't make it smaller. I'm going to back it off a little so we can see the rest of our turkey head. I said we'd finish the bottom of the neck in a minute. Now is a minute. We're going to do it now. So as you get down here, just flare it out slightly right here and right here. Just barely. Just flaring out a little teeny bit right at the bottom. So it's not staying straight. Just flares a little to the left, a little to the right. Crimson, you pay attention? Got it on there? Because it sure doesn't look like it, Crimson. Okay. And then come above that little flare, about where it was still straight, and then just bring a line that comes around, just like that, just kind of connect it up. From here, we're going to put some feathers that just kind of come around it. When I get right here, I'm going to make like a little W and then start going the other way around it. And I'm just going to connect these two up right here. Just make that bigger so I can connect it. So it goes this way and connects in the middle. So these go this way, these go this way, and then you just use a little W right in the middle to connect them. Don't overthink that. All right, here's the good news. He is done. We're not doing anything else with that drying-wise. He is done as far as the line drying goes. Now, you have about 10 minutes, not even that, a little over 5 minutes. Go ahead and get some colored pencils, start coloring. I'll let you finish them up, coloring them tomorrow. I think you can obviously figure out this is red, this is white, this is red. Same colors that you used on this other one. So I won't show you how, I'll just turn you loose on it.